Welcome to the Project Management Happy Hour. Our aim is to share frank and honest discussion about real-world issues in project management, but do it in a way that's not too dry, though it might get a bit salty sometimes.
Today's show, your project can't possibly be as bad as working for Mr. Beast, Part 1. I'm nervous because I don't love a project disaster the way that you do. You love a project disaster, and I just feel bad. I'm like, those poor people. I feel so bad. And so this is going to be my take, I think, on lessons not learned. But it's going to be a little bit different, I think, than the one that you did.
I feel like that. I don't know if you see that Bill Hader SNL persona where he goes, "That's terrible." Oh, it's awful. I feel like that's me when it comes to projects.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm like, oh no, you poor thing, you poor baby. I just feel so bad. And also I instantly go into a mode where it's like, that could be better. Like there's no need for that to have gone that way. But here's what happened. I watched an 1.5-hour video essay by Folding Ideas, who honestly I had never watched before. He seems to be beloved by his community. This is just my first and honestly only introduction to a slightly grumpy man, which I think he would be very fine with that assertion of it. But I watched him talk about, he had a video called Why Was I Invited to Beast Studios? And his angle that he analyzed Mr. Beast from was very much from a content creator to a content creator type of analysis. Like, why did you invite me here? Because Folding Ideas is, I think, legitimately a smaller YouTuber than Mr. Beast, but Mr. Beast brought him and several other YouTubers to like see his studio. But the things that he pointed out and what is his name? I don't know his name. I'm like, Folding Ideas. His name is Dan Olson. So Dan Olson, the things that he pointed out while he was there talking about Beast Studios and Beast Games, all I could think about is, what a horrible person to run projects for. This is the worst project sponsor I've ever seen. So I loved the Folding Ideas. We'll link it in the show notes. I love the video that I watched, but I saw it and I was like, this has to be a textbook case of the absolute worst project sponsor I have ever seen. So today, I want to take you through what I know of Mr. Beast, his creation of Beast Games, and give you your own fun journey into, I don't look at project disasters, but I do look at disaster sponsors. So this might be, well, maybe we'll do this series as like disaster sponsors. But are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Incredible.
Should we start with talking about who exactly Mr. Beast is?
We can. And I'm going to read to you from Wikipedia. Thrilling. Mr. Beast he's a YouTube content creator. His real name is Jimmy Donaldson. I will be referring to him as Jimmy throughout the day. So he is most famous for being a YouTuber, and he has the most subscribed to channel on YouTube. He has more than 495 million subscribers. He's the third most followed account on TikTok. He's famous for these like high-paced videos where they're built around these elaborate challenges and really big, grandiose philanthropic efforts. So, he's done things like, so let's give 1,000 people dental care in, insert country in Africa. Like, he has absolutely been a philanthropist, but he'll also do things like, I survived 100 days in a bunker. And he originally got viral and famous from, I think, counting to 100,000, just 1 to 100,000. And that has just defined his whole career. He just takes these really gigantic goals, numbers, amounts, like shock value type statements, and then turns them into content. So, and he is the only person like him. There's nobody else really like Mr. Beast out there on YouTube. And he is, important fact, currently 28 years old.
All right. So he's 20 years old, has that kind of audacious entrepreneurial drive, I guess, creative.
I would specifically put it into content creator drive. Like, I think there's a little bit of a difference there because you kind of have to be crazy to be a content creator. So with that energy, yes.
And with that kind of a YouTube following, there's probably a good chunk of revenue he makes off that, yeah?
Probably. He has 127 billion views on YouTube, right? If each of those views earned him a cent, right? Like, that's still so much money that he's made from this. What happened is that he had one episode I think they called it Beast Games, but it was based off of Squid Games, which was the Netflix show with like people were dying, very dramatic. So they did Beast Games. That went well. And then he was like, what if I made this a show? So what we're going to talk about is mostly season 1 of Beast Games. And this is a reality competition series. It was sponsored by Mr. Beast Production Company and Amazon Studios. They announced it on March 18th of 2024. The budget was reportedly had a $100 million Amazon commitment. The grand prize was $5 million, which was billed as the biggest single prize in the history of television and streaming. And it started with 2,000 contestants in Vegas and then moved to 1,000 contestants in Toronto. And they filmed from July through September of 2024, and it premiered on Amazon on December 19th of 2024. So here's the thing about this project. The last one we talked about was public, so all of the project details can be found online. This is a private company, so we're not going to know exactly how much everything cost. And I have articles I've referenced, like great journalism that's been done around like the things that have happened at various shooting locations. But I think what I want to hear you predict now is like at the time, this was 2 years ago, so Jimmy would have been 26 whenever this was happening.
My gosh.
So I would love to hear your predictions on what could have gone wrong, even though neither one of us have really ever worked in video production or streaming or TV.
Okay. So $100 million project.
And that's the Amazon commitment. There could have been money that Jimmy and his own production company put into it.
Wow. I mean, that's such a massive project. Period, right? Can you imagine the business application or other projects? Even big old SAP projects really touch that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So what could go wrong? Okay. So we've got probably a hard shoot schedule. So if things slip, there's going to be a big crunch time. I guess things could get delayed, but if you've got live events and people, that's really tough. I'm going to say production schedule's got to be a disaster, right?
All right. Predicting production schedule disasters. I love it.
Production schedule, disaster, crunch. And they're going to be even uglier because there's people, there's show dates and things like this that have to be made. So then it just gets crazier and crazier the more that gets compressed. With 2,000 people involved in something called games, a knockoff of Squid Game, somebody got hurt. And there's going to be lawsuits of some kind. Legal disaster with 2,000 participants. So I'm sorry, was it 2,000 people in Las Vegas and then another 1,000 in Toronto, or 2,000 people in Las Vegas went on to Toronto?
So 2,000 people started in Vegas, and that there was a big elimination game to get them down to 1,000 contestants that went on to Toronto.
Okay.
And that's just the contestants. That does not include the crew that was also with them.
So schedules, injuries, of course, budget overruns.
Gotta be.
There's no way. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know how you go over budget on $100 million, but I'm sure it happened. And then I don't know, there's got to be lawsuits, some other petty lawsuits, because we've got a bunch of people going to this. They want to each earn $5 million. So somebody's suing somebody over something. I didn't get treated fairly. I should have got that $5 million. The producers rigged the game, something like that.
Okay.
Those are my predictions.
Okay. I think those are fantastic.
How'd I do?
Well, we're going to go through those. I feel like I should take notes. So say them just bullet point real quick. So what are the 3 predictions?
Schedule not met. They were late. Number 2, there were some kind of injuries resulting in probably lawsuits, but injuries for sure. Budgets utterly destroyed. And then finally, there had to be lawsuits because there's $5 million on the line. There's people saying that the producers interfered and I got cheated.
I love it. So this is the first time he's doing a project like this. He knows how to make an hour's worth of content for YouTube. He can do that. But making a show that's going to have several episodes, that's not something that he's ever really done before. Almost all of his stuff fits within standalone individual YouTube episodes. And this is him pushing into like building out his brand, doing new parts of the business. So this is the first time he's ever done any of this. So the first place that they go to is Las Vegas. And that's where they're going to have 2,000 contestants at Allegiant Stadium. So they originally advertised 1,000 contestants to start with, but decided to start with 2,000 for some reason.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yep.
Go Jimmy.
And when these contestants arrived, their personal belongings, including prescription medications, were confiscated at the entry.
Oh, and then if they were expecting 1,000 people and now they got 2,000, there's food and water problems, I guess.
Yes. And they were also told to eat, sleep, and live inside the stadium for the duration.
Oh, okay. What could go wrong there?
What could go wrong? I have to shout out to, I want to be clear here, there's an article that I read that detailed all of this. Incredible reporting by Mingson Lau from KSNV News 3 investigation from their work on a September 25th, 2024 article. We'll link it in the chat if you don't want to, if you don't believe me. But Mingson Lau did the best operational reporting from any city that experienced hosting Mr. Beast. So thank you to Mingson Lau. So the first thing that we've learned is that, so all these people show up, and in a normal production, every worker gets a call sheet daily. It runs through what your schedule is, what your contacts are, assignments, escalation paths, right? On Beast Games, there was a contestant wrangler that told News 3 that no call sheets existed.
So I got no resource plan. I got, okay.
Yeah, no resource planning. The second thing, Jimmy doesn't believe in schedules. 2 days before the shoot starts, the producers inverted the schedule. They switched from day filming to night filming because nobody had thought about light control at Allegiant Stadium during the day. And fans, friends, if you know I love Beyonce, I saw Beyonce at Allegiant Stadium in 2025. And I'm very familiar with the light that comes in through the roof because I saw her just about a year ago, and it's still daylight. 5 or like 7 o'clock whenever we got there, and she didn't go on until I think 8:30 when it was totally dark. There is definitely a change in light at Allegiant Stadium. I've lived it. And for those of you who don't produce video content, lighting is very important. And if you're going to have additional light sources, or if you want to keep it consistent, not have things look different from shot to shot, the lighting has to be consistent. So 2 days beforehand, they switch from day filming to night filming to account for this.
So all of the crew, all the lighting, all the people running the facility, running the lighting in the facility. Hey, guess what, everybody? You're working night shift.
Yep. You know what I'd love? Guess how many days they were supposed to be there?
I don't know. Oh, it was supposed to be there. 3 days, maybe?
4 days. July 18th through the 21st. And 2 days before that, they decide we're not going to do this during the day. We're going to do it at night. And all of you are going to be staying here with sleeping bags to rest in during the day. Now they're not sleeping there at night. They're sleeping there during the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the light's bad, so you're going to sleep during the light when the light's bad. And okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, I guess $5 billion on the line, totally worth it.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah. So the quote I have is, Mr. Beast producers informed the medics that Donaldson does not believe in schedules. Quote, he does it when he feels like he's ready, end quote. And that's why our schedule kept changing.
So 2,000 people, you're going to do it when the Beast says it's okay to do it.
Mm-hmm. To 2,000 people. Yes.
And they all said, God dang it, I want $5 million. Fine, whatever.
They did. And remember whenever we talked about all their possessions were confiscated when they got there, there was medication that was collected, and medication never made it to the pharmacy team. Insulin was among the items that were lost.
Oh, no. Did they have medical emergencies?
Yes. One contestant had a seizure and they just left him there. So I don't want to spoil the surprise about lawsuits, but we can all tell where this is going. On top of that, right, they doubled the amount of people that were going to be there. So the pharmacy team was slated to handle medication for 736 people. But since they received medication from roughly double that, and also because the producers decided to tell the contestants to drop off things like lotion or protein powder, makeup or food, like they were really strict about what could be there for whatever reason. So then they had even more things to tag that weren't necessarily medication. And then medics weren't allowed on the stadium field because, quote, they did not want to ruin the atmosphere, quote. So some medics borrowed the black Squid Game style suits worn by guards to sneak onto the field to announce that the pharmacy was open 24/7.
Okay, well, that's good, I guess. They had to sneak out to tell people that they could get their physically required medications, all right?
Mm-hmm. I would love for you to guess. So there are 2,000 people that are sleeping in this stadium during the day. How many porta potties do you think they have?
I mean, I guess I would have thought they would. I mean, it's a stadium. You've got giant banks of toilets there, but they weren't allowed to use those?
I guess not.
Oh my gosh, 2,000 people. I'm sure there's some kind of math, right?
Gotta
They
be.
do this for events and stuff. There's some formula that says if you got this many people for this many hours.
Right? You've raced. You've been to events with
Yeah.
2,000 people. They got porta potties there. How many do you think should be there for 2,000?
Oh gosh, there's dozens and dozens of, like, when you do a race or something, if
Yeah.
you've got a big race like 2,000 people, I've never counted them, but there's got to be like 50 or 60, 100 maybe. For 2,000 people, 100?
There were a dozen portable restrooms set up on the field for 2,000 people.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, let me do the math. So just to round up the numbers, 12 of them, just for math, let's call it 10. And you've got 2,000 people. That's 100 movement, at least 100 movements a day in each one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, right?
I hope
And on top of that, when it's a porta potty, those things have to be cleaned out.
Across 4 days. So that's 400 movements per potty
Mhm.
for the duration.
Well, yes, but who knows if they were cleaned out? Because the quote I have is, we had a guy come up to us with his sleeping bag, and his sleeping bag was covered in excrement. On the third day of the competition, the contestant had slept near one of the portable restrooms on the stadium field, so the porta potty obviously overflowed. And they were only emptied once throughout the production.
Oh man. Can you imagine waking up to that?
No, I would not want to wake up to that ever, 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 which is horrible. And then on top of that, a producer ordered a contestant wrangler to clean up the mess, which at this point is like a biohazard because this is human waste. And when the wrangler was like, I don't really want to do that, and however they expressed that, they were threatened termination,
I'd say, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So that's an OSHA violation.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah. So the person interviewed for this article from 3 News Las Vegas, this person said, I've never done a production that was so unprepared. No systems in place for anything and impossible to get an answer out of anyone.
No kidding. These are basics of health and safety. Anytime you're going to get a large number, 2,000 people together, you're taking responsibility for basics like sanitation and health like that.
There were just so many things that I was looking at and thinking to myself, wow, there's an easier way to do this. However, that would have required forethought and preparation from the producers. So this is just the first location of the shoot. And the goal here is to go from 2,000 contestants down to 1,000 contestants.
So was that is that how they got from 2,000 to 1,000, was to just try to stink them out and hold their medication from them?
If only. But no, there's been several lawsuits filed against Mr. Beast and this production companies as a result of this. So ding, ding, check that off. Ding, ding, ding. Lawsuits number one.
I got one done.
A class action lawsuit was filed against Mr. Beast from California to Mr. Beast because I believe if you're a Californian, you need to be considered an employee under the law. So that wasn't there. And the lawsuit alleges that they knowingly misclassified the contestants to obtain a tax credit for, ready for this number, $2,252,523 from the state of Nevada.
They classified them all as employees for a tax break?
Not as employees. Avoid paying them wages to obtain a tax credit.
Oh, man. Should check with that lawyer, Mr. Beast.
Yep, absolutely not. And there were activities where contestants were beating up fellow contestants, sort of like normal reality show stuff. But since, at this point, we're assuming he's not talking to his lawyer before he does anything, like many of our listeners do whenever they have to get their projects live. So there were things with injuries that folks experienced. There were poor working conditions. So it was an absolute mess. And this class action lawsuit is still open. It has not yet been resolved. And I believe it was filed this would have been filed in 2024, and it's 2026, and this lawsuit is still ongoing. So this is a sponsor who does not value any sort of risk management at all.
No. And I guess from his previous exposure, he's doing 1-hour shows, not with 2,000 other people, presumably. His previous risk profile probably wasn't super high. It just didn't register how much the risk profile increases when you start pulling in 2,000 people.
And so if you put yourself in the shoes of these people, right, they're working really hard to try to get these 2,000 people to do their whatever their challenge was. I have not watched Beast Games because I don't think I could sit through an episode of the show, but whatever their challenge is, right? And these people are all expecting that they're going to be on the Beast Games show that goes live on Amazon. Here's the thing. The episode and the content that they filled in Vegas is not even on Prime Video. The 1,000 eliminated contestants are only in a YouTube video, and none of the contestants expecting TV credits from that received one. And that might have been the reason why they showed up in the first place.
Wow.
So the number that I have from my research is that they spent about $14 million in Vegas. And I'm never going to be able to totally validate this, but $14 million to make 1 hour of content before, I don't even know when it launched, but like just precedes the actual show. And that cost you a lawsuit that's got to cost more than $14 million.
Yeah, I mean, class action, that's got to be a lot of lawyers. I mean, just even before you get to any kind of settlement, just the legal costs alone will be 7 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All that for just an hour of content.
Mm-hmm. But wait, there's more after the break. So remember, Vegas was just where they were starting, and Toronto is where they take 1,000 contestants to film the rest of the show. So that's the second location. But one of the things that caught my eye about them moving to a second location is that Toronto was not always the plan.
Mm-hmm. What was the plan?
Because the way that this show was announced was the project was announced on March 18th, a trailer dropped on April 1st, and casting opened on May 5th. None of these things had a production location attached to them.
So I live in Las Vegas. I think I'm going to go do a show in Las Vegas. And now they're telling me, guess what? You're going to Toronto?
It's more like, hey, I need people to be on my show wherever my show is going to be. So here's what happens, right? So Mr. Beast Productions in May pays Toronto-based Media Headquarters Film and Television, which is MHQ, $5 million. And MHQ scouts locations, hires staff, sources legal help for incoming contestants for immigration and visas and things like that, and design the tax credit strategy. And they plan contract to global release in 7 months. But within a week of paying MHQ $5 million, Mr. Beast goes, "No, we'll just do it in Atlanta." And they drop MHQ. We don't know what triggered this. It's unsure. There is a chance that the documented tax credit strategy from MHQ may have made a calculation that Georgia's film tax credits were better than Ontario's. But after dropping them, days later, Mr. Beast's team says oh wait, Atlanta's not going to work, and then tries to re-engage with MHQ. And MHQ is like, screw this, dude. Whipping me back and forth in a week. And filed in the Ontario Superior Court, Mr. Beast immediately engaged a different Canadian production partner to work on Beast Games, which started from scratch on the production. So $5 million for nothing. And then they find this third partner. And that different Canadian production partner was Blink 49 Studios. And it has no prior reality television work on IMDb Pro before Beast Games.
Wow. So they got noobs who don't know anything about anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And when they got things set up, IATSE named the show an unfair production, and ACTRA, which is the Alliance of Canadian Cinema, Television, and Radio Artists, issued a do not work notice for the production. And neither of them had a comment. This is from a Rolling Stone article. I can also link that in the notes. And it's not typical to have a reality show be non-union, but to be clear, both U.S. and Canadian production crews were do not work, non-union, unfair production.
Why? Did they say why?
No, but I don't know if that is common or not.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I keep going back to, we're going to here's $5 million. No, sorry, we're out of here. No, I'm sorry. So they got $100 million from Amazon. I just keep thinking, Mr. Beast doesn't care, but there's somebody at Amazon. There's some accountant or somebody whose idea this was that's going to have to explain, yeah, we just the beast just burnt $5 million. What do you get? Nothing. $5 million.
It depends on whose money was spent and whether or not Mr. Beast himself did that. But what I will tell you is, in an interview that he did with Diary of a CEO in, I think, 2025, he said, I lost tens of millions of dollars on making Beast games.
Wow. Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Gigantic budget overruns. Ding, 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 ding. But let's be clear here, right? So they are 5 months to delivery. They have a date that they have to meet, and they have to take these 1,000 people and get them down to a final winner with people who have a production company who's never done this before, in a new location that they've just started scouting again. And. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is astronomical cost. This is agile in real time. When we talk about hating agile project management, this is what we mean. This is the perfect example of absolutely no planning whatsoever. I'll do this. No, I won't. Yes, I will. I'll just do this guy. Great. Now we'll do this. 5 months to go. Absolutely no plan.
Gosh, I mean, if you're five guys in a iPhone camera doing a YouTube video, and I'm sure he was more sophisticated than that, but I mean, fine, you can do that, but you scale that up to thousands of people, hundreds of millions of dollars. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So one thing they did learn from Vegas was, oops, we should have NDAs that are stricter. So there are stricter NDAs in Toronto. So there wasn't a very strict NDA in Vegas. So that's why the best reporting comes from Vegas. But in Toronto, they have the NDA, which is a $500,000 breach fee for contestants before the show airs and $100,000 after. And the place where they made their set was a no-fly zone, a walled compound, and 800 crew under NDA. They built their own city. Again, dollar signs. They built their own little city for the contestants to live in and the crew while they filmed the rest of this. So they got more disciplined about preventing leaks. And there is an internal email from September 5th reminding the crew about NDA enforcement 6 days before a piece of set landed on a worker.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But I feel like I've already talked your ear off about this, and they still have more things to talk through, like what types of things went wrong in the location that they were at, as well as how the show was received. So what I'd love to do is to pause us here, and we'll come back for part 2 in a couple of weeks.
I cannot wait to hear how this goes because, I mean, it's been chaotic already, and now they're building a whole compound in time for a 5-month shoot schedule. I mean, it's crashing. It is low quality. I'm sure the budget was just fine. It's just, oh, gosh, yeah. I don't know who the PM was, but my heart bleeds for you. And I just can't wait to see how this train wreck ends.
All right. We'll see you all in a couple weeks, listeners. Cheers.
Cheers.
And that's our show. Thanks for listening. If you liked our show, please leave a review and a comment on iTunes or wherever you get our podcast. Your review really does mean a lot. And if you want to check out our membership site and all of our cool content there, you can check that out at pmhappyhour.com/membership. If you want to talk to us directly about project management, PM consulting, training, or whatever, our contact info is on our website under About Your Hosts, or you can just hit us up on our Facebook site at PM Happy Hour. You'll find we're really pretty easy to get a hold of there. And that's it for today. Good luck with your projects, and we hope to catch you again at the next PM Happy Hour. Cheers.